All right. Thank you for joining me. Let's get started with this video pertaining towards platforms. I want to go into a few platforms here and really start leading in the direction and being more specific. God damn it, really? Batter down to shit. Alright, I'm put this on pause for a moment. We're gonna speak about platform. Alright, so we're back with that, and what we're gonna do on these platforms here is we're just gonna talk about them. We're just gonna name them, educate ourselves here, get familiar with platforms real briefly. I don't like to hold a long drawn out video, and excuse me sometimes when I do drag myself, I'm thinking, but this is more of an educational page, not more so for viewership points. But before we go into these things here, I'd like to go ahead and give my disclaimer, and that is, this is for my practice purposes only. This is for educational points like I was speaking about, and something, if you want anything more more responsible, reliable in that regard, and dependable, then you want to go with your legal professional, and this is not for legal advice. Alright, thank you again. And with that being said, we are on TradingView. TradingView, briefly, is one of the most popular platforms for traders when it comes to practice, when it comes to seeing an overall perspective for a buck, for your free buck. For the free has the most lucrative flexibilities. I'm not even in the home page of it, but it breaks down currency pairs, it breaks down indexes, it breaks down stocks, and so on and so forth. A lot of these, pretty much all of the different charts. So you have your charts within your platforms, and each company, each financial vehicle has somewhat of a chart to gauge, and therefore you able to measure it based on a chart status. And then it goes into the dynamics when it comes to giving you information and reading your data. So we're looking at the SP 500 here currently. You got your Dow Jones, your NASDAQ, and your Russell 2000, things in that nature. You got your ETFs, and you got your like I say, currencies and currency pairs. So you got your euro, your things that we don't, even exotic pairs that we don't typically talk about in your major pairs that you standardly do get to hear about. And so then what else we got here? All right. So then we have, let's go into Apex. This is one of my primary trading platforms that I use for live trading. I do have others internet-based as well, trading. Excuse me, I'll bring that down a little bit. But I also do have other internet-based trading as well outside of this Apex traders platform. And let's see, one of them here is Trivate Traders as well. So I like to log into theirs and go to my live account. You got your stimulating account, your demo account that you can practice trade with automatically, and Trivate trading here. That is good and useful as long as you're putting your energy in towards it and staying consistent with what you're supposed to be doing. here's a little market replay. You have to purchase that. You have to pay a fee, I think monthly fee or so. I haven't gotten involved in that one. I've still been working with my original one, and like I said, I go over that. Apex Trader, that's one I've always pretty much started with. That's the one I started with, and I've been with forever since I've been doing trading. So, and since I was back in 2011, and so 2011, 2012. So since then. But anyhow, my live account, you just click on it, and you get to choose. You get to set up your platform, your display in different manners. This one here is a popular one for a lot of trading bases where they're giving you free options of being able to use a certain platform and not be obligated or whatever. But it takes some learning. It takes a learning curve. I've had myself, because of a lot of whatever technical background and drive to move me through, and situations too. Whatever situations you're in, you're doing it part-time, full-time, things in that nature. You have a lot of things going on around you, whatever your lifestyle is. I've had myself in a learning curve. Adapting to this may take 30 days. 2 weeks to 30 days. You want to give yourself a week, and then next thing you know, you recognize it's going to take 3 weeks, and then you might as well say 30 days. Then I've had individuals expand that learning curve and state that 2 months to 2 years. And some people, it takes 2 years before they learn an actual platform. So that's another perspective that you want to be able to take in considerations, and increase your understanding about how the market works. And of course, this is nothing here. Actually, down here, probably financials down below here, indices, financial. This gives a good perspective of what can be used and traded. Up under currencies here. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Cause that's a commercial. So then you have Australian dollars, British pounds, your euro, your yen, your Mexican peso, and your Canadian dollar. Things in that nature. You can add more, and then actually still have more here. So then what happens is you go into different standards, minis, and macro levels of trading on top of the platforms and these vehicle charts. So you have your standard euro, and you per pips, let's say $100. And then you go to your minis, per pip may be $10. Then you go to your macro, and per pip may be $1. Okay, so that's pretty much how it goes on each one of them. So these are just, so now I'm getting into macros, and I go down further of that same currency pair. Currency, not currency pair. Pairs is when you take two to come up with your price. So if it was compared and correlating with, you want to correlate the euro with the yen, or the Australian dollar with the US dollar, something in that nature. And a lot of them obviously compare pairs with the US dollar on a popular standard basis, but you have probably like several major pairs or so, something. Don't quote me on that, but at the same time, you have some idea of major pairs or standard around, and then you start getting into more exotic pairs that has the differences of entry fees and trading fees. But for the most part, like I say, this is one of the jewels right here. Put it like this: risk tolerance. On this page here, you learn risk tolerance, lessons that I learned at here, and I can speak on it with confidence. So macro trading, that's the only thing you really should be really into trading. I just keep it straightforward, point blank, no options about it. Safe trading over here. Wise trading, longevity trading, serious traders. macro trading. Anything else, somebody leading you into off a cliff. Okay, period. So, with that being said, let's keep moving. We got all the different currencies. I'm gonna get out of that, and I'm gonna go into. I don't want to go into the Robinhood account. If you don't, you should know you have a Robinhood account. I'm sure you guys have Robinhood accounts. I don't even know how to use Robinhood like that, but it's not a serious trader account. But I do actually trade. Yeah, I trade. I got Bitcoin on there right now through Robinhood, and some others that actually here and there I get in and out on a lot of times, and I use it for practice counts and just counts that I just pretty much let it ride, I guess you would say. You know, forget about it. When here, this particular account would be a actual same account, mini account, macro account, a broker account that is pretty much work with the broker and how they actually work, you know what I'm saying? So these brokers are so different that they specialize in different things and what they like to see and what they actually like to, you know, profit off. So if that's going to be the case, then some may specialize in cryptocurrencies, you know, so you don't get, majority of brokers do not, but there are some that just may. So what kind of currency pairs do they specialize in? Some may specialize in the standard. Most of them do not. Most of them specialize in the standard, and some of them don't specialize in pairs themselves. So going to pairs, you start talking about Forex, and Forex only currency Forex companies. So you have a few. All right, so this is pretty much a 9-minute chart, and you just have different charts, but this is where you actually probably make the bread at. You probably make your money. You get in and get out on a mini chart. This is one that will specialize in a mini platform and not more so a more conservative platform for risk tolerance macro. Other platforms may suit better, and from a platform that is actual risk tolerance, like I was showing you on Tribate, they're more suitable for macro trading. I wouldn't consider that to be with some of the brokers, and that's what you want to understand. But a lot of times you have to get your feet wet and go through a lot of phases and setting up things and go through those kind of experiences, because this is a long haul, you know, overall continuing learning phase that you are in. When you're looking for that platform, you're looking for that right suitable platform that's gonna fit your criteria of how you really feel comfortable when you're pulling that trigger. Period. So risk tolerance is very important with the actual charts and what the brokers really do. So this one here, when it comes to macro trading, I wouldn't consider this one because of the fees. The fees are very lucrative. Well, you know, so you, in a point where everything is mental, and if you're more focusing on not exiting a trade because of you just got in and you don't want to lose your money based on your investment, your chance on it based on the fees being so high, then that's not a good strategy. You know, that kind of capture your flexibility. And there you go, man. That's pretty much it. Let's see. We have, this is a training deal for me where I do a lot of putting the actual I follow along and make my assumptions after the fact. Go back and I can snapshot this one here easier. So this is my snapshot platform where I take pictures of it, and I can blow it up and see why I chose what I chose, things like that. So you have this follow along chart. You have your Skype, Lord of mercy. You have your Trading View platform. Go over some of these actual deals here, where I was calling on my YouTube titles. I was saying it's 52 the bottom or 72, things in that nature. Bam, it goes down from 72 to 52, and bam, back up and using 74 as support. And now we're up in 88. It hit 90, and now it's hanging around 84, or whatever the case may be. But when you're actually looking at some of the videos and the posters that I may upload or whatever, you can start to get a feel. But you want to have a platform that you trade from, so that you can get involved, and it's not going to be on every opportunity, and a lot of them I'm not even involved into. So, but are they on the move? Can I see them making it happen? There are other people out here that are involved in it, and then there's ways that you eventually want to use that as a leverage and credibility and understanding other things and keep you motivated. You know what I'm saying? So, but this is a sample of platforms. I mean, I got many, oh my goodness, many platforms. I just don't even, but these are my primaries that you want, I guess. This is one that I pretty much work with right now. Oh, and TD Ameritrade, my goodness. So that's where my search engine, I do a lot of my searching, Thinkorswim, and I haven't been in there in a minute, but TD Ameritrade, outside of TD Ameritrade, it might even take me a moment, but outside of TD Ameritrade, well, not outside of it, but TD Ameritrade is the ideal platform for having that Walmart platform. You know what I'm saying? That Dollar General platform got everything up in there. Flexibility type wise things, but it's a learning, and then they have videos even on the actual platform with TradingView. They have videos, give you picks. That's another plus about TradingView, is you actually can get ideas from other traders that post their actual trades, their ideas, their thoughts about what the market is doing in the future. So as you go through here, TradingView, and you start going through the home page of it right here, you start to see ideas, class assets, which are currency, stocks, indexes, futures, bonds, and CFDs. And this is the analysis page here. Support and demand is a lot of the things I kind of mess with, but I guess this is what people's strengths are. Trading analysis, what you can look into to identify certain things. I don't really. Let's see anyhow. Markets. Here's your cryptocurrencies, your currencies, which are your major pairs, your minors, your exotics, Americans, Europe, blah blah blah. Stocks. You got your top gainers, your losses, your most attractive, your volatiles, your overbought. You can kind of look into different things like that. That brings you a little closer in your search engine of stocks that you're trying to buy into. Indices, of course, you got your SPs and your nut indexes and Dow Jones, blah blah blah. Future deals where you actually can jump in that day, get in, get out that day, and make a decent earning if you know what you're doing, and you got the tolerance throughout that day, and make that your living for that day, or for however you want to choose it, weekly or monthly, or part-time, full-time. Okay, so scripts, different strategies, screeners, of course, we know about those stocks, screeners, and blog news is help, blah blah blah. I know there's some up here pertaining towards the actual analysis and what I mean, you can look right here, even on this one. If we was on cryptocurrencies, then of course they got different strategies of what one may be considering forexes. You got your euro reaching channel tops, things like that. So these give you more confidence when you're looking to sell off. You know, let's say we're in a euro USD, the euro against the US dollar, and you see prices are at this high points. They're getting to these high points, and you say, okay, is this a good time to sell? And you can actually sell when you actually have these platforms here and these vehicles, these instruments that you have a broker or whatever platform you're using. You can actually sell with the market and go in that direction as well, and not just buy like you would be considered to do as a stock, which that is most of the options that most people are familiar with because they get it from their job. And since that job is what presents them to only buy, most people are assuming that that's the only thing they can do in the world, and that's the only way that they can participate. So therefore, because of what that job told them, because that's the farthest that they believe their job is God. Sorry about that. I don't throw all that in there, but anyhow, but you know what I'm saying. So let's not be too naive. And there's many opportunities, different styles of how to play and invest your money and watch the market in different manners. So their newscast is there and it's irrelevant. Either way, is activities, and you can take advantage of it, or you can just follow along and just be entertained. That's pretty much what the news is. Okay, so it gives you opportunities or it gives you entertainment, and everything that ties into it is what it is. But if you can read charts and master actual graph charts, then you're now becoming technical, and now you're starting to have another concept and a primary concept of what the catalysis really is about, and not the news report. Okay, so no coronavirus news reports over here because we know better. Alright, so anyhow, I'm going to drifted off on that. Platforms of different educations and comforts to be able to see where you're at. TD Ameritrade, too much going on logging in and trying to get familiar with it, but rest assured, as one of them on and popping, growing platforms on the largest scale here, currently in this 220 era. And so that is definitely one to have, and take your time in these platforms when it comes to setting them up. Be respectful. Do not underestimate the qualifications that you have to, and the things that you have to do to get an account set up. Okay, it's not a guarantee, and they want a lot of information. Somewhat, or you'll understand eventually how it works, but you want to be humble when you first start to going through those kind of processes, and making sure that you cross all your T's and dot all your I's, and be thorough with the information and be prepared with it. May think about it a little bit more before you actually start to submit it, but go through one or two of them and get a feel before you go through anything that you primarily like. The first ones that you primarily like, I will probably make those my second to third options. Okay, so that you don't mess too much up in that primary one that you really want to get into. Things like TD Ameritrade, things like that. But yeah. I think that's about it for right now. I use, like I say, practice platforms. I use strategy platforms. I use live action platforms and then of course I use I sometimes use TradingView for my practice, but I used to have been so familiar with this one here, my broker platform, that since from way back when, that like I said, I just keep it moving and going with it. But lately I've been trading, putting my money invested into Travate, and some other ones just to get familiar with their platforms and the trade for the future of different investments and other rhymes and reasons for people to that advertise their platforms. Then you got your cryptocurrency platforms that I haven't even talked about or anything like that. You got your Coinbase and different other things that sometimes have them, but not have everything. So just like even with Robinhood doesn't have everything, especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies. They ain't got diddly squad diddly did that, But at the same time, that's pretty much how they set up their deal. So they only want you to trade so much, or they want you to report that you trade on a consistent basis. So everybody's gonna be a little different. And so you got some of them that really advertise free things, but they really make it very complex when it comes to trading. And obviously, we don't do mobile trading. Don't give me any questions about no mobile trade. That means you're a rookie. You fantasizing. This is reality of being profitable and serious. There's nobody making no money on no damn cell phone. All right. I hope I don't have to repeat that again. All right. Other than that, I know I get things overboard. I get a little too serious on certain things, but please get that point. I see that here and there, and I had a buddy that was actually on. He plugged me into Robinhood, and eventually, I looked at it or whatever case may be, and I was busy doing some stuff, working, and so, but and then I didn't understand technically what it was for. Or getting familiar and molding it to what it should be for, basically using it for what it should be for based on what it can be used for based on other things. It definitely won't be even attempted to be used for, which is trading, a true chart. So if I would even go to TradingView to actually make my decisions on my chart and view what I'm actually going to see on TradingView or my other chart, it depends on what the actual vehicle is, then cool. And then I go into the live account and pull a trigger. You see what I'm saying? So then you go into the live account and you pull the trigger once you've actually made your decision on a platform that you're gonna really get familiar with, really make it your baby. Okay, mold it over for months and years and however long it take. Okay. All right, so we'll just leave it there. Again, this is for my practice purpose only here. You have to get your own legal advice. But I think we actually got a very good concept of just really educational piece of understanding what platforms can bring you. And they're all different shapes and sizes of each and every last one of them. And that's the business. That's the business. What business are you in? And you're going to have to be able to get familiar with a lot of things in that regard. But to actually get ready to start making money on a lot of the things that you hear and pop-ups that I might bring in, get started with some of them and then see what they actually can do, or what they actually allow you to do in those platforms. TD Ameritrade, like I said, is one of the bigger, broader perspectives, and you want to be more respectable when you do go into TD Ameritrade and applying for a lot of those different platforms within it, because I think they separate a lot of those platforms too. So, and like Robinhood, whatever the case may be, giving all your bank proof of residence, things in that nature. Some can be some simple, and you can be like, okay, cool, and then the next one can be very complex, and you wondering what's going on with it. I did cryptocurrencies overseas and things in that nature, and having different accounts in that regard, there are different requirements and so forth that take place, and then getting people to actually even set up those different accounts and banks and so forth. It's offshore accounts, so you want to get a grip over it all and understand that everybody's within a business of itself. Okay, thank you again for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you're thinking. What kind of questions you may have, so we can start moving and making profitable money. Because there's a lot of things I see, and I have an eye for what is going in the direct direction. Again, before I end this show, what I hang my hat on, the direction. I'm an analyst. I hang my hat on which way the direction is going, which way the markets are going. All right, so that's the jewel for being a subscriber to me. You have someone that is not going to give you after the fact movements, but beforehand movements. Okay, beforehand movements. We sit up here and we talk about these different movements. Then we want to. Anyhow, I don't want to ramble. Thank you again.